It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Which way are the bargains?
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
Do you know where we are?
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
Act 1, Scene 1.
The aim, to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners.
We're in the money.
And valiant losers.
Broken. Close your ears.
Will it be the high road to glory?
It's just delightful, isn't it?
Or the slow road to disaster? This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah.
You all right?
Yes,
What?
I got cramp.
Oh,
I got cramp changing gear.
in your leg.
Clutch cramp.
Foot to the floor then, quick. 20th century design guru Mark Hill's trying to get into gear.
Ow.
Oh! Is clutch cramp a thing? I think I've got clutch cramp. Stop the road trip.
Nice try. But this is the fifth and final outing for Mark and that Jedi of jewellery, Izzie Balmer. They simply must finish.
I've just created a new ailment. This is wonderful.
Clutch, clap, crap.
Clutch,
That's
clap,
one way of
clamp,
getting out of driving.
Listen, I quite enjoy driving this car. It's been a smooth ride. Well, I mean, it's sort of you coast along gently with our fabulous 80s angles. It's like driving a wedge of cheese.
The mature 1987 Lotus Eclat is certainly something you can get your teeth into.
I would love to spend a day in your head.
But don't go there. Believe me, don't go there. It's bad enough with one of them in here.
Izzie can be curious. Last time she pondered the best way to serve a rubber steak,
I could not eat all of that. Imagine if I tried to eat all of that.
whilst Mark was more concerned with breaking into a locked decanter.
What do? Normally I pour myself a stiff drink. Unless the lock was in.
160, 170.
He did have cause for celebration after a fine performance at auction thanks to a Shelley tea set.
250.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
A win for him makes it all square with Izzie. They're now two apiece as the final auction approaches. Mark has 252 of the £1,500 he began this trip with, while Izzie has £470 to play with.
It'd be quite fun just to splash it all, wouldn't it?
Oh gosh, absolutely. Every
penny.
penny, exactly.
Do it! They've already spent big from Cardigan to the Cotswolds. Now Mark and Izzie are meandering through a last bit of the Midlands before they swoop down on Swanmore for a grand auction finale.
Northamptonshire. I feel like this is a bit of you.
Mm-hmm. What, a load of old cobblers? Am I on the right track?
Yes. Maybe. You are indeed. Shoes, boots.
I love a good pair of boots.
And while those boots will indeed tread all the way to Northampton this leg, it's to Havisham, Buckinghamshire first. A village perched close to the great River Ouse. They're hoping to find just the vintage they're looking for at G-Dad's Collectibles.
I feel like we've come on a country walk, Mark.
Country walk? Where are we? Where? Houses? Right, OK.
OK.
Which side do you want?
Shall I go left?
You go left, I'll go right.
They're ploughing through this huge barn of antiques, where shopkeeper Beth is poised to provide their bounty. Nice.
I actually can't do two things at once. I'm trying to like keep a steady rhythm and then have a funky one, and I think I'm trying to do two funky rhythms at the same time. It's just not working and it just sounds rubbish.
She'll get into her groove soon enough.
Hello. What a smart fellow he is. I love these. I have a collection of these at home. I just think they're the most sensational things. Some people call them dumb waiters. I mean, he's certainly not going to say anything, is he?
Popular in the early to mid-century for standing a few drinks or nibbles on. It should be holding a little tray, really.
The nice base, the wood and the paint makes me think he's probably an original from the 30s or 50s, and they're really sought after. People collect these. How much? He's £30. I am really fond of him. Jeeves is coming with me.
Very good, sir. Now, is there anything to Lady Izzie's liking?
I've just spotted something Scottish, and I love Scotland. Well, it says on it, a present from the East End Industrial Exhibition Glasgow, 1890 to 1901, to Mrs. Young. So Glasgow, at the end of the 19th century and early 20th century, held 4 exhibitions. And the first one was opened by the Prince of Wales. And these exhibitions were to celebrate the city's achievements in the sciences, in industry.
The Glasgow International Exhibition welcomed 11 million visitors from all over the world.
Mrs. Young was there at this exhibition. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who else was there and what was on display at this exhibition, and taking their items there to sell, celebrating the city's achievements and just, you know, celebrating Glasgow. It's £25. That's probably what it's worth. It's probably only worth £25, £20 to £30, something like that. I really like it. I'm pretty set on it, but I haven't looked around this whole warehouse yet. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket just yet.
Better hatch a plan B then. Rightio. Moving on.
Ooh, now, super stylish things, these, and I think really quite fascinating. After the Second World War and during the 1950s, the production of pottery in West Germany mushroomed. New factories were installed, factories were revived, and you got an incredibly new style. And these were pots made for the likes of us, affordable pots sold in florists, department stores, wherever. And this particular sort of terracotta unglazed effect is typical of a company called Sauer. And indeed Sauer, or Sava, I guess, in German, were particularly known for this sigillata, as they called it, after the ancient Roman pottery, look to their pots. So you've got this very elegant, curving, almost bud-like form, this curving lip here, and then you've got this sharp, angled handle applied. And there are 6 of them. And it's £4. That really strikes me as a good deal. So what are we looking at? £6, £6, 4. That's 6 pieces for less than 30 quid. So stylish, so typical of West German pottery of the 1950s. That's an extremely tempting proposition.
He can resist everything, except temptation.
Ooh. This is interesting. It's interesting because it says Kiel 1947. Kiel is in Germany. Someone's there after the war with their regiment in Kiel, and they've picked up this souvenir item. And it's a bit tramp-arty, and it's a bit folk-arty, and it's very Germanic in how it looks.
Many British soldiers were based close to Kiel after the Second World War and into the reign of Queen Elizabeth II.
You'll have the military interest, but with it being post-war, that's not quite as interesting as if it was in the war. It's £22. It's a useful little box, isn't it? I quite like that.
Do you know, she's talking herself into it. You can feel it.
Something I can't put my finger on, but something that tells me that I like it.
Izzie seems to have her heart set on that post-war piece.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you.
Multi-talented me. Can I help you with anything? Maybe some cake? What do you think that's made of?
Carrots. I was actually after a pot of tea for 2, please.
Here's what I made earlier. Take a seat, I'll bring it over.
Would you like to join me?
All this war talk seems to have created a post-war sitcom theme. Not quite Hancock's Half-Hour, but almost Terry and June.
Quick cuppa, and then we get back to it.
That might be for the best. Save on the washing up at least.
After you.
Thank you.
Moving on. Back to business, please.
Oh, I can't resist a cute teddy bear. He's quite a rude teddy bear, though, but he's so typical of the 1960s and 70s with his short, stubby arms and his barrel belly there.
Looks like a pedigree teddy bear from Exeter, or an Irish Tara's toy, perhaps.
He's probably about 50 years old. He's £6.50. £6.50 for something that's halfway to being an antique. And who couldn't resist a face like that? I certainly can't.
Time to talk money with dealer Beth.
Beth, hello there.
Hi.
This place is just crazy. I mean, every time I look, there's something new to see. So I found a group of 6 1950s West German miniature pots.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're all £28 together. I found a rather cute Jeeves, and then I found a teddy bear for £6.50.
Oh.
So I think, adding it all up, we're looking at about £64.50.
That sounds right, yeah.
If I bought them all, the whole lot,
Yes.
is there anything we could do?
There's nothing I can do on the teddy bear, but
Understood.
for the £28, we can do that for 24, and for Jeeves, we can do that for 26.
Including the £6.50 for the mohair teddy, it comes to £56.50 altogether.
50 plus £6.50, £56.50.
Yes.
We have a deal. Beth, you're
Excellent.
a star. So let me get you some cash together.
Mark now has £195.50 remaining.
And you're going to send me into the depths of my pocket to bring out £1.50.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
But Izzie's still busy browsing. She's shown interest in the Glasgow exhibition glass and the German wooden box so far.
Well, this is a bit of me. Nails. Nails!
Nice to meet you. Looking trim.
It's an Art Deco little manicure set. So we've got the nail buffer, we've got the unoriginal scissors, we've got the cuticle cutter and the cuticle pusher backer. I think the scissors are missing because you'd have had Bakelite handled scissors as well. But then maybe that's a negotiating tool because the scissors are missing. £25. It's probably what it's worth. It's one to think about because I do like it, but I'm not sure that it's going to make any or a huge amount of profit. One to ponder.
A wonder ponder indeed, on the way to Beth.
Hello, Beth.
Hi.
I've actually seen 3 items.
3, nice.
I know. The first item is the sort of 1930s manicure set. So there's that. There's the German sort of folk art souvenir box. And then there's the really fabulous late 19th century little glass from the Glasgow Industrial
Yes.
Exhibition.
Yeah.
I think we've got 25 on the glass and the manicure set, and then 22 on the box. So that's what, 50, 60, 72. If I
Yes.
took them all, are you able to do anything on that,
Yes,
please?
we could do all of that for 65.
65. Yes, please. That sounds super.
Great.
Thank you very much.
That works out at £22 each for the Glasgow exhibition glass and manicure set and £21 for the hand-painted German wooden box.
Here we
Thank
go.
you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice work. Izzie has £405 remaining.
Why, heck, that were good.
And now, Mark's dropping her in the village of Stoke Broon. Set in the heart of the Grand Union Canal in Northamptonshire, though she seems to be heading in via barge rather than car. Izzie's retracing the footsteps of a group of forgotten but inspirational women, like Daphne March, who moved food and munitions across the country during the Second World War. Daphne's niece, Catherine Doddington, is keen to share the story of how her aunt helped keep her country running.
But what was it that your Aunt Daffy did?
Well, she operated her own boat and she wanted to prove that women could do anything in the war effort. And so she petitioned effectively the Grand Union Canal Carrying Company, and they eventually agreed to it.
While many people know of the land girls' efforts during the Second World War, not many know about the young women who transported vital and heavy cargo like coal, steel and copper on these canals, a forgotten but vital part of the war effort on the home front.
They managed to get about 100 women to take an interest in it, but we think that only about 30 actually stood the test of time. And they went on and did a pretty good job of operating boats.
Where did they come from before they womaned the boats?
Some of them were in reserved occupations and had to get the permission to go. Others just were doing things like school teaching and things like that, and they saw it as an opportunity to go and do something a bit more exciting.
Would they sleep on the boats as well?
Yes, absolutely. Oh yes, there's some lovely pictures around of women cuddled up with a cocoa at night, ready to go again in the morning. And it was hard work for them, but they seemed to enjoy it.
With boatmen called for military service, it took the young women 6 weeks to learn to drive the barges.
It was pretty physical. They had to operate the locks, had to organise that they'd got all their food and...
I was thinking that, so if you're going to be away for a few days, and presumably there aren't really any supermarkets along the sides of a canal.
No, but pubs though.
Ah, well, important.
And rabbits.
Jokingly referred to as idle women, as a play on the initials of their inland waterways badge, they were anything but. 12 to 14-hour days and fearless journeys to some of the most bombed cities in the country became their norm.
So Izzie, let me read you a little bit from my aunt's memoirs, which epitomises, I think, the women that operated during the war. And I'll find it here. It was 2 years before I obtained the competence and social standing of a professional boatwoman, and my experience was gained at the cost of long hours, some spent in the heavy work of handling cargoes, anxious moments at the tiller, and exposure to all weathers.
Life was undoubtedly hard.
Hello, Rob.
Hello, Izzie. Very, very nice to see you. Very nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Canal volunteer Rob Westlake is waiting for Izzie by a narrowboat called Sculptor that was commissioned by the Ministry of War Transport in 1943.
Is this boat at all similar to the narrowboat the trainees would have used?
It is virtually identical.
Okay.
It's identical length, width, the cargo hold is the same, the colours of this particular boat are the same.
But it wasn't just one boat the young women were expected to drive and navigate. They'd have another butty boat to transport too.
What's a butty boat?
A butty boat is a name given to an unpowered boat, exactly the same dimensions as this motorboat, but which was towed behind the motorboat.
Would the trainee women have been operating a main boat such as Sculptor and then had a butty boat behind?
Exactly.
I'd imagined that they were navigating and driving a narrow boat such as this, which to me seems vast, but the fact there's another one behind.
That is part of the work they had to do. And moving a boat from London to Birmingham, for example, you have 142 locks.
It's no wonder that whilst transporting 50 tons of cargo in very dangerous conditions, the young women formed a tight-knit group.
During the wartime, the ladies were accepted as part of the working boat life, but they had to win the respect or earn the respect of the traditional boaters that were still using the canals in those days.
Undoubtedly a strong and heroic group. While some went on to receive MBEs after the war, many became but footnotes in history.
I'm making a right old mess of the road.
Perhaps our friend John would help you there.
I think I need a bit more training, Rob.
Well, next week.
Daphne March and the young women who served on these canals deserve to be remembered. Working a barge is hard enough when there isn't a war on.
I could get used to this, travelling by canal boat.
Couldn't she just?
Road trip becomes a canal trip.
Mark, meanwhile, is enjoying his time driving that classic Lotus, alone at last.
There's something warm about this part of the world. I just love it. And then you've got the hard angles of this wedge-shaped car. It's so 80s, it's so fantastic. I mean, it's all about Lord Ashley chintz, country cottages, antique furniture. It somehow suits. It's that 80s vibe and I love it.
He's got energy, I'll give him that. Now, in the village of Wardington near Banbury, Mark's not come to see a fine lady upon a white horse, but to survey the fine wares of Banbury Antique Centre. With all styles of chic and ages of antiques, owner Peter is manning the fort today. Mark has £195 and 50p remaining.
Now, this is quite smart. Urgh. Let's shed a little bit of light on it. So what we're looking at here is a lamp base, and this sort of style with this sculptural form in this panel here and this colour kind of makes me think that this dates from the 1960s or 1970s. And I have a feeling that this is from Cornwall. So turning it round, what I see is the label for Tremaine.
Yep, Cornish.
Tremaine were particularly well known for their lamp bases. And whilst this has a really appealing sculptural panel, for me it's just not quite sculptural enough. It says, needs rewiring, hence bargain, £100. I'm afraid I'm going to pop it back down.
That shade thrown on the lamp base. Moving on.
I spot something fishy. A small, brightly coloured stuffed toy of a fish. But this little yellow label here and the button in its fin is instantly recognisable to anyone who loves teddy bears. Of course, the button in the ear is particularly associated with a company called Steiff.
Founded in Germany by Margaret Steiff in 1880 with the motto, "Only the best is good enough for children." The company is still trading today.
This is Flossie the fish. Hello, Flossie. And I'm not quite sure that this was the most popular stuffed toy that they produced. Flossie is missing his or her little card tag on there, and that would have been a nice to have. What are we looking at? £48. The condition is still good. I might be tempted. Flossie's coming with me.
Time to see if Peter can make this official.
Peter, hello.
Mark!
Oceans of opportunity here.
With a fish in your hand, OK. Yes,
Absolutely.
I see it.
I see, hopefully, a bargain here. We are missing the tag.
Should we say £40?
You know what? £40 is a deal. I am absolutely delighted.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Mark now has £155 and 50p to spend.
There we go.
Very good.
£40. Flossie and I are off to the auction.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And he and Izzie are driving onward.
I've loved this.
Me too.
I've really loved this.
I'm doing it again. I'm talking over you. I'm going to listen.
I mean, we're doing it again.
I'm going to let you tell me how much you've loved my company, and I'm going to listen.
Sorry. You see, this has been the story of our road trip. It's two stories overlaid on one the entire time at the same time. I have loved it.
But it's not over yet. There's another day of shopping. But first, nighty-night, you two. Come daybreak, Mark and Izzie are heading on into Northamptonshire.
Mark, if you could travel back in time, where would you go and what would you bring back with you?
Do I have money?
Yes.
Georgian. I love the clothes. Knee breeches, waistcoats, silk, tailcoats. Gotta love it.
What fun. Yesterday, Mark got ahead of the trend with 4 purchases. Flossie the fish, the West German pottery, the mohair teddy bear, and that dumb waiter.
I am really fond of him. Jeeves is coming with me.
He now has £155 and 50p left to spend.
I am absolutely delighted.
Izzie didn't let any dust settle yesterday, snapping up 3 purchases. The German wooden box, the Glaswegian exhibition glass, and the Art Deco manicure set.
Nails. Nails.
Izzie now has £405 left before that all-important final auction.
Would you be a dandy?
Oh my goodness gracious, yes, I'd have everything. Dandy rings, the cane, the lot, the hats.
Spend hours on your cravat.
Yes.
Tying your tie.
And her next stop is in the village of Weedon, close to the River Nene in Northamptonshire. Vantique Limited has 2,500 square feet of retro and vintage. Neil's just clocked on to look after the shop today.
I got a different note.
You're here to spend notes, not play them.
From the front, this looks to be right. It looks to be an Art Nouveau picture frame. But when you turn it round, firstly, the leather is just it's got somewhere, but it's a little bit too clean. You can also see where that easel back's been put on there.
Though a rather smart enamelled frame, if it was made by a famous silversmith, the price tag would be 3 figures.
It is priced at £55, which is a reflection of that. I've got a fair amount of money that I have left to spend, so if I'm going to buy something Art Nouveau, I'd like it to be Art Nouveau rather than in the style of Art Nouveau.
Izzie has £405 left, remember?
It's always worth, when you see what otherwise might look a fairly ordinary trio set, turn it over. Now, this one says Foley China, but it also has the mark CW, and that stands for Charles Wellman. Now, the Wellman family were the owners of the Foley China Works in Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire in the mid-1800s.
Which Joseph Shelley became a partner of in 1872.
So even though this is stamped CW, this date is circa 1880s, 1890s, this mark. This very easily could be a Shelley design because Shelley was working in the company at this stage, he was a partner at this stage, and it was only a few years later that the company changed the name to Shelley. And the best bit about it is £4. And I'm absolutely going to be buying that and trying not to drop it on my way to the desk.
Oh, Neil, I think Izzie's looking for you.
Hello, Neil.
Hello, Izzie, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Jolly good.
Now, the good news, Neil,
Good.
is I am not going to be asking you for a discount.
I'd like to hear that.
This lovely little trio is only priced at £4.
My goodness, that is a bargain. Can't buy a pint for that, can
No.
you?
So let me get you some money, Neil.
So Izzie's lost some small change.
There we go.
Well
£4.
done, thank you very much.
No, thank you for
You
having
take care,
me.
thanks
You
very
too.
much. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
But it means she still has £401 burning a hole in her pocket. Now, Mark's winding his way to Olney, a beautiful market town in Buckinghamshire famous for pancake races. His finishing line today is the Antiques Centre. With 2 floors and 80 units worth of antiques, there's a lot to look at.
I spy with my beady eye beadwork, and I love beadwork. Just think of the amount of work that had to go into making something like this. So I think what we're looking at here is a 1920s handbag.
A handbag?
Handbags are really quite collectible at the moment, particularly modern designer ones, but people tend to collect beyond areas, and the entire history of handbags interests today. This is a really nice little example. And what's the price? £28 for a handbag, a personal item that's nearly a century old. And then there's this, what looks like a wall hanging or wall pocket of some description. And this to me looks to be earlier, so I'm guessing Victorian. What's the price on this? £32. I just love care, attention, creativity and sheer craftsmanship that went into making these. They're a real definite maybe.
I didn't know he was an Oasis fan. Here's hoping Izzie finds something with as much potential in Northampton, England's most famous shoemaking town. She's made it to Click Antiques, with 2 floors worth of china, jewellery and furniture. Will she find anything that fits?
Here we've got this pair of, ships, from a ship, ship's lamps. And they're just superb, aren't they? They're just magnificent. But there's a pair of them, and so what to say, a pair of early first-class maritime salvage lamps, beautifully cut lead crystal domes, threaded into finely cast ormolu mounts. The only small problem is the price, because for the 2 of them, they would cost me £1,200, and I don't have £1,200.
She's right. Izzie only has £401 left, and she and Mark are hoping to fork it all out. So, how's he getting on back in Olney? He was quite taken with the beaded purse and wall pocket earlier.
I'm always on the lookout for sort of quirky, unusual items. And this quirky, curious-looking critter certainly meets the mark. So what have we got? Well, it's made out of, it looks like copper to me, maybe with some other metals in there as well. And we've got a candlestick on top, and then we've got underneath here a matchbox. So I think you would slide out the matchbox, take out a match, and then strike it along the striking panel, which is revealed by this cutout panel here. Is it marked? Yes, it is. T&Co on the base. So T&Co is the mark used by Townshend & Co, who were a Birmingham-based metal producing company. And they produced for very high-end retailers.
Established in 1890 and in business for 29 years.
I've not seen one quite like it before. And you know what? You could still use that today. It adds a certain sort of Gothic romanticism to the place. That's a really smart piece. I wonder whether I can strike a bargain on a price of £90. And I wonder whether that will like me to making a profit at auction.
Nick's the man to ask.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Hello, hello.
What an amazing centre.
Thank you.
I mean, I keep looking around, seeing so much I want to buy, but I have to settle on a couple of items, and settle I have. And I've chosen one of them. Now, do you like it?
I think it is unusual, original, different.
So it's got £90 on it. I've also seen 2 beadwork pieces. So there's the beadwork handbag, I think it's got £28 on it. And then there's also the Victorian sort of wall pocket thing with a bit of damage, and I think that's got 32 on it. So we're at £150. If I was to buy them all, could we strike a deal?
We can do the match striker and candle holder for 70.
Okay.
The beadwork pocket, we can do that for 26. The beaded handbag, which was 28, for 24, 50, 120 altogether.
Thank you very much. I'm going to shake your hand.
Marvellous.
Thank you very much.
Very generous.
120. Thank you very much, kind sir.
Terrific.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Nick.
you.
That means Mark still has £35.50p left after his final purchase. Not quite managed to splurge all the £1,500. How's Izzie getting on back in Northampton?
I like these. I like these very much. They're probably Egyptian revival, 1930s. They're a pair of jardiniere stands or torchères, or very simply put, plant pot stands. I just think they're amazing. They aren't in the most fantastic condition. A lot of this gold paint has come off to reveal the wood below. But I think they are very, very visual. I just think they're incredible. Less incredible is the price. They're £595. I have £401 in my pocket. I would very much like to try and spend all of my money, and I think these would be a very good cause because I've fallen in love with them. I think they're incredible. Also, they're still a pair. They haven't been split up. They haven't been divided. One hasn't been so badly damaged that it's had to be discarded and just one remains. We've got 2 of them here. I'm absolutely going to find out if they could be within budget because I love them.
It would be a big spend to bow out on a huge gamble, and Claire is the lady to decide if she's willing to allow it.
Hello, Claire.
Hello, hi.
I love it here. You've got some beautiful items.
Nice to hear.
I've seen actually quite a few things that I really like, but I'm being very strict with myself because there's one, or I should probably say a pair in particular, that I have fallen head over heels in love with.
Okay.
They're also, and I'm going to admit it, they're totally out of my budget.
Okay.
It's your fantastic Art Deco jardiniere stands.
Yeah.
They're £595. What would your best price be on them, please?
£450, I don't know.
I should probably come clean.
Come on then.
I've got £401 in my pocket. Is that doable?
I'll take a chance on it. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
That means Izzie's got rid of her entire £1,500 starting kitty.
I've been totally cleaned out. There's 400.
She'll have the torchères sent on to auction.
Fantastic, thank
Lovely,
you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. See you soon,
Cheers.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I actually can't quite believe it's coming to an end.
I
You know when you're in denial?
I know, but look, the sun is shining. It's nice and bright. We've had a fabulous week. More could we ask for?
That's true. But thank you for being the perfect road trip partner.
Well, I learned from you.
Ah, methinks the Mutual Appreciation Society needs to get some shut-eye. The Bosom Buddies have made their way down to Hampshire for their 5th and final auction of the trip.
This is it.
Feeling nervous?
Hugely. Let's just get this done.
Someone's in a hurry. After meandering through the Midlands, Izzie and Mark have dipped back down to Swanmore and Pump House Specialist Auctions, where they'll be selling to people in the room and the wider world online. Auctioneer James Jones will govern the gavel.
55, anywhere else?
Or pen. Going out with a bang for her bucks, Izzie spent £470 on 5 items. What does James think?
These gilded columns are great decorative items. These are going to appeal to the mass public and the trade alike. Wherever you put these is a statement piece in a shop window, foyer of a hotel. I think they're going to sell really well.
For his final hurrah, Mark forked out £216.50. Does anything stand out in his trove?
My favourite piece today, I think, is the grotesque, mythical candle holder and matchbox holder. Not as useful as it could be, more of a decorative item now. I think it's going to do really well.
Time to take your seats.
55.
That's a very excited auction face.
Oh, yes.
Even Stephen's, Mark.
We are. It's all to play for, and it's all down to this last auction.
This promises to be fun. At 2-all, the winner will take all. And first up, it's Mark's West German pottery.
They scream the 50s with that pattern.
They
We
do.
know the designer, we know the factory. I just think they've got great appeal.
Straight in with me with a £20 left bid.
Fantastic.
20 with me.
We're in.
22 back in the room. I'm out. Is there 24 now anywhere else? Down the line at the back of the room. Sold and away.
They were lovely. A lucky bidder has got a bargain.
Oh, well, they're a wonderful thing, and I'm glad they've gone off to somebody, but happens.
Next, Izzie's Glasgow exhibition glass.
I love Scotland. I love
too.
Glasgow. I love glass. I love hand-blown glass.
Here with me with a £10 left bid. 12 now above. I'm out. Is there 14 now anywhere else? 12 and above.
Seems to have hit a glass ceiling.
I thought 20 to 30 is a guide.
Mark's hoping he'll have a bit more luck with the quirky Victorian candle holder.
I love that whole idea of sort of Gothic mansions, dark nights, that sort of, you know, Dracula, that entire steampunk.
14 there online, 16 there online, 18 there online, 20 there online.
Sorry. Oh, no.
22 there online, 24 there online. Selling it away. Last call.
See, I knew you were going to do that.
Nice to see Izzie smiling, though.
I'll try and say it with a straight face. I'm very sorry that made her laugh smile.
You're still doing that laugh on the inside, though, aren't you?
Will she still be made up after bids for the Art Deco manicure set?
With me again with a £10 left bid. And 12. I've got 14, 16, 18 and 20. 20 there now then. Is there 22 now anywhere else? 22 online, 24. 24 in the room, 26 now, 28 and 30. 32. 34 there online then, the room is out. 34 online, selling it away then at £34.
The first piece of profit for this auction. Well done, Izzie.
That was all right.
Yeah.
Let's see how Mark's dumb waiter does now.
It's a little bit of Art Deco style, and this one isn't one of the reproductions. It's actually an original.
20 there in online. Is there 22 there now anywhere else? Last call for it. Surely. 20 online. Selling it away.
Oh, Mark.
Heartbroken.
A maiden bid takes the dumb waiter.
Do you want to...
I do.
Yeah.
Time for the Wildman & Co. Foley China Trio.
It was the right shape, so I thought, that looks like Foley. Turned it over, Charles Wildman & Co. Date-wise, period of Shelley, sort of 1890s, so Shelley was there, just before the name change.
And a £10 left bid. Is there 12 now anywhere else? 12 there.
Profit already. It's moving.
16 there. Is there 18? 18 there, sir. Is there 20? 20 there. Is there 22? And 24? Sold and away then for 22.
I'm pleased with that.
So you should be. Not at all bad.
Well done.
Thank you.
Mark's beaded purse next, which he's teamed up with the Victorian wall pocket.
Wow. Victorian elegance. It's a beautiful thing. And you get a wall pocket free.
You really like this, don't you?
I actually do. I'm a real fan of these things. They've just got such style.
Straight in with me with a left bid of £30.
They're gorgeous.
32 now in the room. I've got 34 and 36 you might pay. 36 then and I'm out. In the room. At £36 is there? 38 now anywhere else? 36 to the room.
That is a bargain.
That's a deal.
The £14 saved by the buyer can go back in the bag, of course.
Where are you going to get a handbag of that quality and that age for less than that?
Good question. Now, how will Izzie's German wooden box do?
Dated 1947. It's got military interest
Oh.
with the insignia on the top.
With me on the books at a £10 left bid. 12 now at the back of the room. I'm out. 12 at the back of the room.
It's a lovely piece, too.
I thought that might do quite well.
I thought it would do what I paid for it.
Last one for Mark now, the 1960s flossy fish and mohair teddy bear.
Some people might see two cuddly toys, a teddy bear and a rather curious fish. I see Stife, Flossie the fish, and a really cute teddy bear with his arms outstretched ready for a hug.
Straight in with me at £50. 50 with me then. 55 anywhere else.
Someone saw Flossie. Flossie delivered.
A fine kettle of fish indeed.
I really thought I was going to lose. It was all over in a flash.
Last but certainly not least, it's Izzie's pair of torchères. She spent big on these as a final gamble.
They're beautiful. I genuinely love them. I would have them in my home.
Straight in online there at £70. 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 120, 130, 140, 150 just in. I'll wait for 160. Please. 170 in return, I'll wait. There we go, 170. 180 now, surely. Last call. 180.
Oh, Izzie.
Oh dear.
Do you need a hug?
I need a hug. I'm really pleased someone has fallen for Flossie and Teddy.
Yep.
Let's hope they're on friendly terms after the tally.
There we go.
All done.
All done. After you, my dear.
Totting it up, Izzie's had better auctions. After sale room fees, she's made a loss of £256.80p. The winner of the fifth and final auction of this trip is Mark. After fees have been deducted, he lost the least, £91.86, which means he's won 3 auctions this trip, while Izzie has won 2.
I need to come out bowing.
Oh,
backwards,
no.
like I'm in the
Just
punching
stop it. That was pretty tough, I have to say.
Well done, you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. As a small commiseration, I brought you a present.
Thank you. I love presents. Oh, Mark! Antiques Road Trip.
Your very own love spoon.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bless you. Thank you. I've so enjoyed our road trip together.
Me too.
It has been fabulous. Shall we wander off and have a celebratory drink?
Do it.
Farewell, my lovelies.
I think we should dress for dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Are you up for that?
Absolutely.
We've made friends.
Deborah, what have you been up to? Jeff, really? No, you don't say.
We've made memories.
Don't go to be giving this to Izzie. She's the winner.
And we've made some tea too.
Here's one I made earlier.
What fun. Next week, a new face goes road tripping.
Do you know what? This car is almost 40 years old, Hetty.
Is it older than you?
Oh, very amusing.
Debutant Hetty Jago.
On guard.
Taking on seasoned campaigner David Harper. But who will come out top?